Hey folks, I'm Rupali, your host, and welcome back to Crime Hack. With many leads to follow, Raj and Sandy split up the work. While Raj achieves success in all his tasks, Sandy is ambushed as soon as he begins. So he finds losing consciousness because the assailants are many and he hopes they will talk if they think he can't hear them. As expected, the gang talks and he finds out about a cave that the gang is using for stay. The gang then splits up, keeping one goon standing guard over Sandy. This guy turns out to be a sadistic maniac, but Sandy somehow manages to free himself and overpowers him. Then he finds out that the gang is clearing up debris in the catacombish tunnels to make it an escape route. Realizing that it's getting late, he gets out of the tunnel system and calls Raj. When Raj comes to pick him up, he figures that Sandy is in bad shape, but they have a guest waiting for them at home and they have to cut short their investigation and head back. Their father has invited Detective Tomar for dinner, and it's a chance for the boys to get introduced to and learn as much as they can from this expert. After showing him their lab and having fun teasing Sandy a bit, Raj tells Detective Tomar about their first case. Tomar tests and scares them a bit. And now, Night Brothers and the Mystery of the Catacombish Tunnels by Rupali Rajapadhe Roti, Part 41. Tomar then extended a hand at Sandy and said, "You gave yourself away multiple times tonight. Through your stride, your energy levels, your sudden lack of appetite, your answer of human body as a vulnerability, and finally with your mocking tone when you asked whether there was nothing wrong in striking back. I knew there was something sensitive that I could touch." Then addressing them both, he continued, "I mentioned certain things and caught your faces going void of emotions at certain words. That's a natural reaction if someone wants to hide their feelings, covering it up with a blank face. So now I know what you two have faced and what you haven't." He looked at them to check whether they understood what he was trying to say. Then he continued, "But a blank face is not how we deal with it." The boys looked bewildered. He explained, "We should put on an opposite expression on our faces. If we are good at faking what we are feeling, then we may put our opponent on a different track altogether." Detective Tomar waited for this to sink in and then added, "But it's not that easy though. It's very difficult to fake your real feelings, and there are multiple ways of blowing your cover. You noticed how many things I observed about you tonight to tell me that something was wrong with you?" He pointed to Sandy. Tomar looked at their reactions. "Suppose I was an enemy of yours, and these signs had told me that you were vulnerable to physical abuse. I could have tried it on you to easily break you or use you. If I hadn't told you that I was toying with you and had continued to intimidate you, you could have made a decision tonight to leave your aspirations alone and thought that it was your own informed decision. Mind you, but that decision actually would have been influenced by me. You see what I'm saying?" The boys understood the difference and nodded thoughtfully. "So, what you're saying is that before making any decision, we should think about whether we are being influenced or forced to make it. Right?" Sandy spoke up. "Absolutely. But this doesn't mean that you don't make that decision if it's being forced on you. The people who were forced to make the decision of changing their careers are happy and alive right now. Sometimes taking a step backwards is for our own good." The boys thought about this in silence. Tomar asked, "Okay, tell me why you were attacked today." Sandy was bowled over. He hadn't thought about it as yet, or was he thinking about it all this while and failed to come up with a reason? He didn't know. I don't know," he replied, still thinking. Raj informed, "Uncle, from the first day on, it seems that they want to keep us away from them. And they have approached you to threaten or attack you? Tomar wanted to know. Yes, that's the gist of it. Yes, Sandy replied. Detective Tomar thought for a while and then said, You're right. This is not just a case of February 14th beat-up. It's something else. That's what we are thinking now, Uncle. Raj said and then added, It seems Sandy was followed today. Tomar suddenly revolted. And you never came to know about it? He fixed Sandy with a disbelieving gaze. Sandy squirmed in his seat uneasily. He never knew till now that he had been followed. Going pink again, he replied, I don't have any mirrors on my bike. He gave a lame excuse and then bit his lip. It wasn't his style giving excuses. The world is full of mirrors, Sandy. Tomar boomed. Then, sobering up considerably, he said, No problem, it happens sometimes. But you better put some mirrors on all your vehicles and keep your eyes and ears open at all times, okay? The boys nodded. Looking Sandy all over, the detective asked, They hit you in the stomach, didn't they? Sandy looked on helplessly. He didn't want Raj to know the details of his suffering. Detective Tomar extended a hand to touch it, and Sandy shrank back involuntarily, but then straightened up to allow him to touch. Examining Sandy's reaction when he touched him, Tomar advised, You should go see a doctor about that. Sandy was thankful that he didn't become all anxious over him. Tomar smiled. I know you can handle that right now. But you see, when the wear and tear is extensive, regular maintenance never hurts. And the boys laughed, relaxing the atmosphere. So the crooks know you then, huh? Yes, they know us and we don't know who they are. But we have recently learned the art of disguising and we plan on using it soon, Raj replied. Tomar thought for a while and then said, I suggest you don't. The boys were surprised. But why, uncle? Because you are not ready, Tomar replied. You see, disguising is an art, not a process that you can complete. If you were good at disguising, he looked at Sandy, you shouldn't have sulked tonight. You should have smiled heartily and indulged in a healthy conversation with me. But this is just half of it. In actual disguising, you need to take on a new personality altogether. He then looked at Raj and asked, Can you pass for a hip-hopper? Or a villager? A government employee with thick lens glasses and oil-dripping hair? Or a girl? A girl! Raj was flabbergasted. Yes, a girl, Tomar accentuated. Disguising needs a lot of guts and shamelessness as well. Try walking the roads with a girl's dress on sometime. It was then that the boys realized that their passion for their dream needed a lot of effort, thoroughness, and strong resolve as well. Have you disguised yourself as a girl sometime? Sandy looked shaken to the core. Ever tried waxing your face? Tomar mocked. How can you? You haven't even started growing your facial hair completely. Then looking him straight in the eye and drawing closer, Tomar said, Believe me, it's painful. Sandy gulped. Tomar continued, You know how to tie a 7-meter sari? And the boys looked blank. A 9-meter sari? And the boys looked horrified. But uncle, nowadays even the girls don't know how to tie a 9-meter sari, Raj protested. Exactly. Old ladies know that. And old ladies are trusted and respected easily. Tomar enlightened the boys. It's easy to act old. Just be deaf and blind. You also get the freedom to cover your face and your entire body. Get to know a lot of things that way. Then Tomar smiled. Don't be intimidated by all this questioning. I'm just trying to point out that being a detective is not as easy or as rosy as it seems. It requires a lot of brains, guts, real hard work, and a strong will. So follow this dream only if you have these 4 things for the cause. Then Detective Tomar rose up to leave. think you should take rest now, and so should I. He winked at the boys, and the boys hurried after him. Uncle, Sandy stopped him. You won't tell our parents about this little mishap of mine, will you? He looked anxious. Not if you don't want me to, but you will go see a doctor, won't you? Sandy smiled broadly. First thing tomorrow morning, sir. Detective Tomar waved them goodbye and said, Do it. Even if it stops hurting you in the morning, do it. See you soon, boys. And he left. As soon as Tomar turned his back, Sandy looked sick. He made a beeline to his bed. What happened to you? Raj asked, surprised. It was getting so difficult for me to paste that courteous smile on my face anymore. I didn't want Uncle to feel offended. I mean, he's a nice guy. Scary, but nice. And we could learn a lot of things from him and all. But I'm just so tired. His knees were shaking more than ever now. Raj couldn't contain his anxiousness and curiosity anymore. Would you just tell me that you're hurt? Sandy cupped Raj's face in his right hand and pushed him away. Stop bugging me, bhaiya. Just let me sleep. Saying so, Sandy hit the sack, curled up like a ball, and closed his eyes. Raj became silent and lay down on his bed. Watching Sandy, still anxious about his suffering, he thought. Sandy always called him bhaiya when they were kids. But in the past few years, he called him like this only when he felt insecure. Raj would hold him whenever he was in such a mood. But today, Sandy was pushing him away. Raj was mystified, but thought, guess he's grown up now. But the concern still remained. The next morning, Raj woke up with a start. Something was up with Sandy. Friends, thank you for subscribing to our channel and supporting us on Patreon. Hope you are watching our other videos too that talk about real crimes, business, psychology, funny bits, and motivational short stories. Please let us know what you think. You can also tell us what topics you want us to create videos on. We will definitely work on them. Keep sharing your love with us, keep safe, and please connect with us if you are an expert and want to share your wisdom on our channel. See you soon on our next video. Namaskar.